Okay, so I'm Quintin. This is my first time presenting at this meetup. Normally I'm presenting at the Downtown Ruby User Group. Meet first Wednesday of the month, and we also have weekly hack nights every Wednesday at just a coffee shop downtown. So I gave this presentation. It was more of a hack thing, I guess. But I was talking about this last meetup, and I've also presented on like Volt and a bunch of other things. So I recently just got an Amazon Echo, and a few days after, Amazon released their SDK for the developers, like a preview. Currently right now, there's kind of like limited functionality where you can't really do everything that their app can do, or you had to kind of do some workarounds and stuff. But they're slowly releasing more and more stuff. So really right now, what you can do with it is just, make it speak whatever you want and do, programming stuff, but nothing where like play music or stream stuff or other things like that. So does anybody have a Echo? Nice.
Our CTO does. It's
nice. So the basic functionality is kind of like what you can do with Siri or Google's thing or whatever, right? So you can just start by saying, Alexa, what's the weather? That didn't work. Alexa, what's the weather?
In Salt Lake City, it's 89 degrees with partly sunny skies. Tonight, you can look for some clouds with a chance of thunder showers and a low of 70.
I don't know why I think something's Salt Lake still, but that's fine. So, and other things, you can ask for like a news briefing in the morning, how's the traffic. It's really good at like hearing what you're saying, as long as it's not too noisy. But my wife, she's from Peru, and she has an accent, and something like Siri can't understand her. But the Echo can, so that's pretty cool. So it just seems like it's a little bit better for the voice recognition stuff. So yeah. What happened, they released their SDK, and I started looking at it right away. There's about 2 options for developing it. There is using the AWS Lambda service or creating your own web service. So I've never used this Lambda service before, but pretty much what it is, it's just an environment to run code. But you can only write it in Node.js or Java. So I never wrote any Node.js or Java. So I decided to start here though, just because they had lots of code examples and it seemed really easy. You just kind of put your code here and set up an app, and then it just ran. So pretty much I just copied and pasted one of their example files, and pretty much, I'm not going to dive too deep into code, but if you want me to zoom this in, just let me know. So all this is just this Alexa skill function. Can't say that name.
You can rename it, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Apparently in the app, you can set the name to Echo, or I don't know if you can give it whatever name. I haven't tried that yet. Yeah, pretty unfortunate. So anyways, and then you just define these functions. So I have this one app. It just insults you or motivates you. So I have 2 functions: get insult, which just does a API call, just do this. It's called please insult me and please motivate me. So just 2 simple APIs. We use this at work all the time to insult coworkers and stuff. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. But before you get that to work, you put all your code inside the Lambda, you get it running, and then you actually have to come here to the Alexa Developer Center, or whatever. Cancel. And you just set up your app, you put your name, the name of the whatever, I can't say it. That's the name that you actually call it. So you have to say like, Alexa, open mean Alexa.
Welcome to the Mean Alexa extension. You can ask for insult.
Okay, cancel. So that's just the name that you go by. It has to be pretty short. It has to be like 2 syllables and something pronounceable. And then you had to come in here and you had to set this intent and utterances. So the utterances are something like,
Of course it's coding.
yeah, of course. It's something you have to define it in English, okay? So you ignore these first things. These are like, if you want to think of it this way, it's like, if I say this, do this method, okay? So if this, do that. So I set up 2 things, 2 different English definitions of how I could call this. So when you're going through this, you had to set up, like think about it in your head. If I say, ask Mean Alexa to insult, or maybe I forget to say to and I just say insult. So you have to think of all the different possibilities that you could say it in English and then put them here. And then you can pass in variables. So for example, I'm going to pass in a variable called person name, or I should be expecting a variable called person name. And then where it says Cody, that's just an example of what could be here. So it's expecting 1 word. If I had an input that I needed 2 words or something else, I could do like Cody and then something else. Then it knows that I need 2 words there to fill it. And that kind of creates a problem right now. Because if you want to have a message or something, you have to keep growing this and growing this with a one word version and 2 word, 3 word, 4 word. They're trying to find a way to fix it because it already has that functionality where it can do that. You can do like Simon Says and it'll say whatever you want. But right now for the preview, you can't do that, so it's kind of weird. So anyways, I have two methods, or 2, this one actually has 3. It has a mean, nice, and a tell me about, and then this help. So if I say to help or help, it's going to give me a help message and bring up some responses. Once you get those definitions down, you need to come into the intent schema, which is just JSON file. And pretty much you just set up an array of intents. So for example, my Mean Alexa intent, and I just tell it what slots it's going to have, what variables to expect. So I'm expecting a person's name, and the type is something like a literal, so it's going to be just words. You can set like dates and times, I think, as well. I just only did stuff with literals. So after you get that, then you're all set. I don't think, yeah, you don't have to do anything else. So then you can start running it. This works like my Amazon account is my email, and my email's registered there, so it just is on there by default, so it's pretty cool. So then I can get started. Alexa, ask Mean Alexa to insult Cody.
Cody, your hair is the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, let's just go through. Alexa, ask Mean Alexa to motivate Cody.
Cody, the secret of getting ahead is getting started.
Okay. So this was the Lambda way was a pretty easy way to get some basic functionality. But because I don't normally do Node.js and I don't like doing so many callbacks, I just decided I really want to try this in Ruby. So somebody made this little Ruby kit. This guy, he made an example, you know, how just a library to wrap stuff, make it really easy. He has a really good video of how to get the servers running, because as soon as I went on to how to do it on a web server, it said like, oh, it just has to be, you know, HTTPS, it has to listen to port 443, and there was just like a list of 20 requirements. And I was like, oh, that seems really complicated. It's actually not, but watching this video actually helped me get through it. If you need this link, I can just ask me on Slack or whatever. But yeah, really easy to install. So pretty much what I did, I just created a whole bunch of, where am I? I created a whole bunch of servers, just Sinatra servers, and I hosted them on Elastic Beanstalk, Amazon, another web service. Something else that I've never used before, but I actually really love it. So I set up 8 servers, and during the last Downtown Ruby user group meetup, we just like assigned everyone a server, and then they could contribute to it. So a lot of the examples that I'm going to show you are other people's code. I only wrote a small portion of it and kind of put them all together. So yeah, so let me show you some of that code. So it's a really simple Sinatra server, nothing special at all. Can you read that?
Yep.
Yep, cool. So just requiring files and some libraries, HTTP or OpenURI, Twilio, and stuff like that. So I consolidated them all into this one app called Phantom Rider, and it's really simple. There's 3 things that can happen. You can either launch the request, and that's when I say something like open. So Alexa, open Phantom Rider.
Phantom Rider is running.
Okay, so exactly what I said here. And there's also the thing called add hash card, which just, if I pulled up my phone app or the app online, it would say, it would give me a little card with whatever I put here. Now, that's pretty much the only functionality that that has right now. It can't do pictures yet. It can't, in the app, it can display a lot more information. If I did that, if I did a weather lookup, it'll give me the weather in the app as well. So eventually, I think that would be expanded, so you can give users more information, but not quite yet. The second thing is the intent request, which is your main thing. Get to that, and then the last thing is the session ended, so to clean up anything or to say goodbye, I guess. I don't know. Cool. So after that, after you've defined all your intent schema and the utterances, then whenever you speak, it's going to try and find whatever you're matching or whatever it's matching, and then it will come back with this little request name. So if it's the mean Alexa intent, it's going to do some code. If it's nice, it's going to do some code. Really easy, just case statement, right? So this was really easy to program in. I can do a lot really fast, and it's pretty fun to play with. So in this app, I have the same stuff that I had before, the mean Alexa, the nice Alexa, so the insult and the motivate. And then I have a one that will actually message me a text message on my phone. I have a philosophy one, and then a shower thought. So these 3 were done by other people at the Downtown Ruby user group. Yeah. So with that, I can go through some of these and show you guys what it does. Cool. So Alexa, ask Phantom Rider. Shut up. Alexa, ask Phantom Rider to philosophize.
I really do not want to help you.
It hates me. What is it? I wrote down all the things. Prophesize. Alexa, ask Phantom Rider to prophesize.
Take a lesson from parakeets. If you're ever feeling lonely, eat in front of a mirror.
Or this one's shower thoughts, just from the Reddit shower thought channel subreddit. Alexa, ask Phantom Rider to tell me a shower thought. Do it. Maybe. Is Reddit blocked here?
The requested skill took too long to respond.
I don't think it's blocked. It's like, is it really pulling from the link?
Yeah. All the code is in this app. Shower thoughts just as open URI. Jason wrote this. Oh, is it? Is
that right? That really takes something.
Yeah,
oh,
that holds
It
up.
could be like 10 seconds. Try it again.
Okay, let's try again. Alexa, ask Phantom Rider to tell me a shower thought. That one's failing.
Try a different command.
It's not that surfacing that meowing at cats elicits a surprise response. Imagine if a cat walked by and said something random like, democracy.
Okay, so that works. That one's always good. The fun one is the text message. Alexa, ask Phantom Rider to text this message. Hello.
I sent you the message. Message, hello.
I got a message.
Prove it. There you go.
So yeah. So I had to do some interesting things with the utterances. So for example, this mean Alexa one, before it could only take one name. So I could only say Quintin. But if I wanted to do a full name or something else, I had to do Quintin Adam. So now Quintin Adam works. So Alexa, ask Phantom Rider to insult Quintin Adam.
Quintin Adam, your father was so dumb he thought he would poke a hole in a condom to keep it from busting.
There you go. So now I can insult full names, just in case there's two Quintins. What else? Oh yeah, this one got fun. There's lots of different ways that you could say, like, text the message. Write me this message, send me this message. There's tons of ways that you could say it, and if you really wanted to make this app, you would have to do hundreds and hundreds of different messages that you could say. So pretty much what I did, I wrote out a few, and then I just kind of went through and said, like, message 1, message 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eventually, I think there's going to be a better way to do this, but right now, this is kind of what you got. So if you want to do, right now I can only do like 8 words, but it could just keep expanding and expanding if you want to do stuff. The other cool things that you can do with it is you can kind of ask, you can, for example, if there was like a joke, like a knock-knock joke, you can actually wait for the response. So if you said, tell me a joke, and she said knock-knock, and you'd have to respond with who's there, and then she would keep going back and forth. So you can kind of get these conversations going. Obviously, you could do stuff with databases, where you could ask her to store a phone number of somebody, and then you could just say, call this person. There's lots of really cool things that you'll be able to do with this, and it's really simple to develop, especially this way. You just say, if this is this, then do this, and it just does it. So, yeah, real quick.
So does the Ruby kit here expand on what's actually in the SDK, or does it just match up?
It just matches.
Yeah.
It's just wrapping the request.
Right.
And sending it the way that.
So
it
like
wants it.
for example, you only have 8 words.
Mhm.
Like that's
That's
something that
just, yeah.
SDK is current.
Yeah, that's all it will allow. So that's pretty cool. And I set up pretty much everything the same way. So for example, this is for Phantom Rider. The intent stuff's all the same. Just you put more things and you put more utterances in here, and everything just works. And this is Elastic Beanstalk. It's very awesome, and you just deploy it, just EB deploy to deploy new changes. And the only thing that you have to worry about is after you get it set up, is that you just go into this load balancer, make sure it's listening on 443, and it needs a self-signed certificate, SSL certificate, and so that's the only challenging part of setting this up. To deploy it to an actual app, you need a real SSL certificate, and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And that was on my list of a bit frustrated.
I like less screen stuff. Thanks for closure.
Yeah. I do like last one, so it's awesome.
Is
So
it free service or is it?
Nope.
no.
It's Amazon.
Yeah.
They charge you the rest.
Touche.
You know.
You're paying for the EC2 instances, so whatever size you select. So I think a micro would be like $72 a month, something like that.
I did like the T2 micros, cost me $50 a month with no load balancer.
Okay, so that's probably what it is. Yeah, and it comes set up with like a load balancer, with auto scaling, other things. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Really easy to deploy stuff. Any questions about the Echo?
Do you like it?
What?
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know. I love developing for it. You know, it's kind of cool to be able to do stuff with it. More and more stuff is coming out, like home automation stuff. You get turned on and on lights, stuff like that. I would like to be able to do it, like do home automation stuff with it on my own. So I'm kind of waiting for that functionality and additional functionality to what I can do already. I don't know if I would like it for just like what it is without programming it. Like it's kind of just like Siri, but it's really good at playing music too. So it's really loud, my speakers. Yeah.
Do you know if they have any plans with SDK updates that you'd actually be able to like have your code running on there rather than just deploy it somewhere that it can get access to?
I don't know. I don't even know like really what the specs are because there's that much memory in here or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but that's interesting. Anybody else? Questions?
What is your backdrop on our turn?
Oh, good question. Let's see.
Yeah, multiple ones.
I got. Oh, they're all Zelda.
Yeah.
Zelda one, Zelda one, Zelda one.
How do you define like 4 of them?
Oh, you just do different profiles, and you set up. You do each one, and then you can set an arrangement.
Yeah.
And you save the arrangement, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just do different profiles for each one. It's worth it. Yeah, that's good.